Tonight on CFTK-TV News, a BC wildfire response quickly turned into a wanted arrest, the latest on BC and national wildfires, and the rising cost of meat and its implications.
Northwest BC's only television news team. We are CFTK-TV News.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this Monday, July 7th, 2025. I'm Jaylene Matthews. We'll begin tonight with our news that's local to the Northwest. The Prince Rupert Emergency Department was closed today for most of the day from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Reasons cited were staffing shortages. It was also recently closed from 2 p.m. on Sunday, June 29th to 8 a.m. on the 30th, as well as for stints on June 22nd, 16th, and 15th, and May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, leaving local residents the option of calling 911 to be transported to the nearest facility or driving the 113 kilometers to Cassine Regional Hospital themselves. On July 3rd, the Cassine Regional Hospital Emergency Department put out a notice of their own that they were experiencing higher than usual wait times and patient volumes. Patients who aren't sure whether their condition would warrant an emergency room visit or who need health advice can call HealthLink BC by dialing 811. In our continuing coverage, we take a closer look at Skeena Diversity, a long-standing organization supporting newcomers in the Northwest amid ongoing immigration issues. Here's CFTK-TV's Helen Asante with more.
For 25 years, Skeena Diversity has been more than just a settlement service. It's been a community, a home, and a bridge for people starting over. Today, we hear directly from those who are not only shaping the organization's future, but who have walked the path of immigration themselves.
This is our 25th anniversary, 25 years of being in the community, and their work is ongoing. It fulfills a specific need in the community in relation to immigration matters and temporary foreign workers, and we have now become an integral part of the community because we provide a necessary resource whereby we're welcoming community members into the community, newcomers to the community, so that they say, this is a good place to be. This is a place where I feel like I can make friends, I can become part of the Skeena Diversity family, which is really what we are. People come and go all the time, which is fine. But the fact is that people have a good experience with us.
I've been here since 2010, so 15 years. We started off with 3 employees and we've grown to 11 now. And it's definitely changed, it's growing, it's big, it's ever changing. Every day is a new option to learn something new. And the amount of people that come through here, it's incredible. It's a new face, and then we say goodbye to the old faces, and then somebody else shows up, and it's a rotating door. It keeps going and going and going.
I came here as an international student 3 years ago. Over the years, I noticed a lot of changes, especially in immigration, and people are having trouble with coming in here in many different ways, like as temporary workers, as international students, and also having that trouble bringing their whole family.
I have been with Skeena Diversity for almost 2 years now. I started working here when I graduated from the college, and now my current project is to make sure that the community keeps on getting better in terms of welcoming newcomers, and it's more inclusive.
A board chair offers her opinion on Bill C2, and other staff members express hope for the years ahead.
It's going to affect not only Skeena Diversity but the whole community, because our college, which a lot of the newcomers come for our college, and to go to take different classes and get diplomas and move on to universities, and that's being cut drastically, which will affect all of the stores that hire all these people to help them to be able to live here. But I do understand one of the things that the government didn't do, shouldn't get political, but they brought all the students in, but they had nowhere for them to live. So that started a whole cycle of problems, which has ended in them cutting.
What I would want is that in, let's say, in the next 5-10 years, right, there's more diversity.
So 5 to 10 years, I hope we just keep striving through it all. I want a racism-free community. That'd be nice.
In a world where immigration is often politicized, organizations like Skeena Diversity remind us of the real story about human connection and community. People that are intending to go on a hike or a bike on Terrace Mountain will notice some finished improvements that have been made to the trailhead on Johnstone Street. The bottom part of the trail has a new sign along with a landing area, and the parking area on both sides of the street are wider and more distinct, while also being resurfaced with new gravel. This marks the completion of the past couple of months' work that was being done to improve both the Flathead mountain biking trail and the Wolfpack Viewpoint Trail. The Northwest BC Resource Benefits Alliance recently launched a new website that provides both clearer and easier to access information about the various projects that are being funded by the 2024 Northwest BC Regional Funding Agreement. The new site also includes information about the $250 million over 5 years given to the Alliance during the 2024 provincial budget announcement. Some of the projects that the new site highlights includes the City of Terrace getting a new Zamboni, Prince Rupert working on upgrading their water lines, and Burns Lake making improvements to Government Street. Coming up next, wildfire updates from BC and Manitoba. A BC wildfire response quickly turned into a surprising Crime Stoppers bust. CTV's Penny Daflos has the story.
The smoke was visible on the southern outskirts of Hope. The Silver Creek fire itself was small, but too close to the community to risk it growing any bigger.
The tricky thing with this fire is it's just the terrain that it's in. It's very steep and sloped.
A helicopter attacked the flames from above while ground crews trudged up the mountain.
Making sure everybody stays safe while they're working it, it's a big concern.
Those crews called off the chopper after hearing something.
Somebody calling for help.
Brad Fandrich changed gears from aerial firefighter to rescue pilot. The local search and rescue team worked with him to long-line a man off a cliff face to safety, and a surprise.
We've never gone from the subject of a rescue to being walked away in handcuffs within 2 minutes of him arriving on the ground. That's the first for sure.
Mounties say the man they rescued was Caden Blackwell. The 27-year-old has been wanted for months and was the subject of multiple outstanding warrants and Crime Stoppers bulletins. Public court records show he's facing multiple charges, including driving without a license and assaulting a peace officer.
Where this fire started, it's above a band of cliffs that there's nobody camping there or anything. It was definitely suspicious.
The Wildfire Service has determined the fire was human caused, but won't address rumors Blackwell may have started a signal fire for help that got out of control. The wildfire danger rating is currently moderate in the Lower Mainland and Fraser Valley, but with more warm weather on the way,
you can expect to see the fire danger rating starting to rise.
Blackwell is expected to be far from the woods in custody. Penny Daflos, CTV News, Vancouver.
A wildfire that was discovered burning near the Kelowna International Airport yesterday is now classified as being held. The BC Wildfire Service says the blaze, which is not expected to grow outside its current perimeter, is one of about 80 fires actively burning across the province. The blaze forced the airport to shut down operations yesterday, but operations are back underway today. And wildfires continue to threaten several communities in northern Manitoba, which is forcing evacuations on some First Nations. CTV's Alex Karpa has the latest on the wildfire front in Manitoba.
Wildfires continue to threaten several communities in northern Manitoba. This video from Tatasqueya Cree Nation shows large plumes of smoke surrounding the community. Leadership on Saturday confirmed through a social media post that at least 7 homes have been destroyed from the fire on Friday. This photo shows the trail of devastation from the air. Meanwhile, those living in Marcel Colombe Cree Nation near Lynn Lake are once again evacuating due to new and growing fires in the region. Those living in Leaf Rapids have been told they could be evacuating sometime soon. The city of Thompson, with about 13,000 people, is monitoring a new fire about 8 kilometers north of the city, and there are medical evacuations occurring in South Indian Lake and Pimicikamat Cree Nation.
The magnitude of these fires have really taken our communities off guard.
Grand Chief Garrison Settee has been keeping a close eye on the evolving situation up north. He is calling on the provincial and federal governments to increase resources and aid to the area to help not only the evacuees, but those on the front lines.
There's not enough equipment on the ground. There's not enough support with water bombers and all the essential equipment. Those are the challenges our First Nations face. So they're never ready to deal with any fire because of the equipment that's missing.
Manitoba has been dealing with one of its worst wildfire seasons in recent years. There are over 60 active wildfires throughout the province, with over a dozen of those out of control. Alex Carpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Turning to the weather, keep your raincoats ready. It's looking a bit wet across the region this week. Tonight on the north coast, expect conditions to be rainy, about 10 to 20 millimeters, winds from the southeast at 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40, becoming light this evening, a low of 11 degrees. Over the next few days on the north coast, expect showers tomorrow, then a mix of sun and clouds Wednesday, before more clouds come in and rain to end off the week. Daily highs between 12 and 16 degrees, overnight lows between 9 and 12 degrees. Tonight in the Terrace area, expect periods of rain, about 10 to 15 millimeters, and winds from the south at 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40, becoming light near midnight, temperatures steady near 12 degrees. Over the next few days in the Terrace area, expect a few showers tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds Wednesday and Thursday, then rain to end off the week. Daily highs between 15 and 18 degrees, overnight lows between 8 and 13 degrees. Tonight in the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, it's looking rainy, with winds from the south at 20 kilometers an hour, becoming light near midnight, a low of 10 degrees. Over the next few days in the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, expect showers and periods of rain until a sunny Thursday rolls around, then back to showers to end off the week. Daily highs between 15 and 23 degrees, overnight lows rising from 6 to 13 degrees. Checking your northwest highways now. On Highway 16, there's construction in Prince Rupert with the detour in effect. Also bridge maintenance, line painting, pothole repair, and utility work going on. On Highway 37, bridge construction and maintenance, frost heaves, a material spill, and crack sealing. On Highway 37A, watch for paving operations and falling rocks. On the Niska Highway, there's line painting and road sweeping going on. On Telegraph Creek Road, there are muddy sections, and this is what the roads were looking like around the region this afternoon from the view of the province's highway cams. Still to come, meaty price increases at the grocery counter. The Calgary Stampede is a favorite Canadian event, and this year the Prime Minister even turned up and attempted to flip a pancake. Here's CTV's Jordan Canagan from Alberta.
Well, the greatest outdoor show on earth has again turned into a bit of a political rodeo, with leaders from nearly every major party stopping in at the Calgary Stampede or related events. It's a chance for those politicians to speak with supporters, but also mix in talk of policy with some pancake breakfasts.
That's better in Ottawa. There you go. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another one. I'm practicing. I got a little cocky there.
From pancake flip failures to FaceTime with provincial leaders, the Calgary Stampede has become a must-visit for politicians.
I hear you have a little work to do on your phone.
I do.
The 10-day event brings political leaders of all stripes out west.
Actually, we usually see all of the political leaders attend. It's unusual if they don't.
But the Stampede visits are about more than just donning cowboy hats and blue jeans.
This is a fairly big event because it does get national news coverage during a time when people aren't necessarily paying as much attention to politics as otherwise they might. And so there are fundraising opportunities, but there are also opportunities to connect.
Making their pitch to supporters.
The era of Ottawa telling Alberta to pay up and shut up must end once and for all.
And serving up Stampede breakfasts.
But I actually want them showing up at every church that's having a pancake breakfast, in every community. It's time for us to spend time with real citizens.
Well, generally, I think it's about meeting people where they're at. And a lot of politics, I think, is best communicated culturally and socially.
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
Many prices at the grocery counter have skyrocketed in the past few years, and apparently it continues. As CTV's Camille Karamali reports, the price of meat is hitting all-time highs.
This Toronto butcher shop,
I'll set my friend,
bustling on this Sunday.
This is such a treat today.
A rare treat because meat for some has become a luxury.
Definitely meat is more.
Just listen to how much some of these meats,
something like oxtail,
have gone up in price.
Prices have practically tripled for myself.
The owner of this shop, Marlon Rosenbaum, feeling a bit raw about how much he's had to dish out for some cuts.
It's a tough time for small businesses. Everything costs more than it ever did before.
Meat, one of multiple items to see a price jump globally this month. The other items, vegetable oil and dairy. Meat now hitting an all-time high, up 2% since May, but rising more than 6% since last June. Vegetable oil also seeing a 2% increase since May, up 18% from last year. And although dairy only saw a 0.5% increase since May, it's jumped up 20% since this time last year.
We're seeing reduced production because there are fewer cows around. We've seen dry weather in North America in the last couple of years there's been less feed available.
Less feed available to raise cows not only puts the price of dairy on the rise, it means with a surging population, there's less to go around.
The world will be short 5 times Canada's national production by 2030, so that pressure will only increase.
But these global food prices don't always reflect Canadian food prices. Take vegetable oil, for example, surging in price globally, but in Canada, the cost has actually gone down.
We have excess supply of canola oil in this country, which is the predominant oil that we use.
All in all, people will still have to pay more for most foods.
So what gives you hope to keep going?
I think just trying to keep in mind that good quality meat is something that there will always be a demand for.
Hoping that for these customers, locally sourced meat will still be a cut above the rest. Camille Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
Turning to the markets now, Canada's main stock index finished lower, driven partly by weakness in real estate stocks as U.S. markets fell. The Canadian dollar dropped 0.2 cents. The price of gold fell 10 cents. Oil gained 93 cents. Natural gas rose 2 cents. Aluminum dropped 17.50. In Toronto, the TSX was down almost 16 points. The Venture Index was up 2. In New York, the Nasdaq was down 189 points, and the Dow Jones was down 422. Still ahead, flooding devastation in Texas as the search for the missing continues. Now, news from the Texas flash flooding and on the rescue operations underway. Crews are searching the flood zone on the ground and from the skies looking for survivors. ABC's Maria Villarreal spent the day in the air with the Coast Guard plane, and she has the story.
We're in the air with the U.S. Coast Guard in central Texas in the urgent search for survivors.
We're actually getting ready to ride with the U.S. Coast Guard. They have gotten word that there might be 2 people inside some trees over the Guadalupe River, so we're going to check that out with them.
The search made even more difficult by the dense forest below. The plane uniquely equipped with this key life-saving technology seen here in action, helping the operator pinpoint any potential survivors.
Talk about the importance of the technology on this particular plane that maybe differs from what we're seeing out there.
We got a FLIR camera on the front of the aircraft. It is a very good camera that we have, and it's also an infrared camera, so we can find heat signatures, things like that.
More than 400 first responders from 20 different agencies helping rescue nearly 1,000 people since Friday. This video released by the San Angelo Police Department capturing a series of daring rescues on July 4th as water levels rose above entire homes. Harrowing stories of survival shining through the debris. Amanda Sue Jones, her husband, and 4 kids evacuating moments before the worst of the flooding hit.
As soon as it started coming out of the banks and going into some of the grass, that was when we decided to evacuate. From the time we crossed the bridge to when everything's getting swept away was, probably 10 minutes. It was an absolute force of nature that I've never witnessed before.
Former federal officials and outside experts have warned for months that President Donald Trump's staffing cuts to the National Weather Service could endanger lives. After torrential rains and flash flooding struck Friday in the Texas Hill Country, the Weather Service came under fire from local officials who criticized what they described as inadequate forecasts. Democrats wasted little time linking staff reductions to the disaster, which is being blamed for the deaths of at least 80 people. Former federal officials and experts have said Trump's indiscriminate job reductions at NWS and other weather-related agencies will result in brain drain that threatens the government's ability to issue timely and accurate forecasts. Trump said job cuts did not hamper the weather forecasts. And while President Trump has been uncharacteristically quiet during the Texas flooding disaster, he's been vocal on another issue. The somewhat surprising new rivalry between Trump and Elon Musk has had some developments. Here's ABC's Christiane Cordero.
This morning, the feud between President Trump and Elon Musk escalating. Trump calling Musk a train wreck after the billionaire announced he's starting a new political party in the wake of his public split from Republicans, calling it the America Party, saying when it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. In response, Trump saying, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos. Musk hitting back, mocking Trump's social media platform, asking, what's Truth Social? And referring to the cost-cutting group known as Doge, Musk asking, what the heck was the point of Doge if he's just going to increase the debt by $5 trillion? Despite Musk's claim that the America Party will be on the ballot next year, not everyone in Washington is taking it seriously.
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. Third parties have never worked, so he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
The barb comes as a major trade deadline looms.
I think we're going to see a lot of deals very quickly.
Trump's 90-day pause on those sweeping trade tariffs is set to expire in a matter of days, sparking fear of market whiplash. Major retailers like Amazon launching huge sales ahead of a possible spike in prices. But now the administration is pushing back the original July 9th tariff deadline.
But they go into effect on August 1st. Tariffs go into effect August 1st, but the president is setting the rates and the deals right now.
Overnight, President Trump saying letters will go out today to various countries urging them to finalize trade negotiations. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
That's our news for now. For more local news, visit us at cftktv.com. We're also on YouTube, TikTok, and X. We'll be back tomorrow with more news from the Northwest and beyond. Thanks for watching.